Warriors, this is your weekly Warrior Wrap Up. I wanted to share a couple of very exciting things that happened this week. I don't know when you're watching this, but it's Friday right now. It's been a very busy week. The best thing that happened is last night, Warriors Live in New York City, we were able to have a full crowd in a room, get together, no masks, no anything, and talk about human trafficking and sexual exploitation. We had a terrific crowd. We had dinner, discussion. We had realities and solutions, medical, legal, and survivor advocacy perspectives. We had the wonderful Judge Fernando Camacho, along with pediatrician, trauma doctor, emergency room doctor, Dr. Ann DeMeo Ritchie, who is also a Lynn's Warriors Advisory Council member. And we sat in front of a group, parents, grandparents. It's everything the Warriors is about, which is education and raising awareness. And I know it sounds simple, but to be in front of people and not on a computer and not just tweeting and Facebooking and all that, and really look at everybody and talk about it is what is needed. Eye contact, personal, because we know, Warriors, how horrible all of this is. But when you're in a room and it's intimate, you make a dent. You get a reaction. So we had a wonderful conversation. We let everybody know what's going on. Specifically, I talk a lot about digital safety because the internet is the #1 predator to our children. But the judge brought in the legal perspective. He has worked in New York in the sex crimes unit and filled everybody in about what goes on in the courts. And Dr. DeMeo Ritchie has extensive knowledge across the nation in dealing with hands-on experience, human trafficking victims that are brought into the emergency room. So we laid it on everybody. We shocked everybody. We gave them the realities. We finished up with digital safety. It was a very good night because I believe if we reach one person, then we've done our jobs. So we'll be doing more of these Warriors dinners and discussions. We've got Warrior workshops that will be going into community centers, churches, synagogues. We also have the Warriors education system, and I'm so excited because now we've been so held up in the last 2 years now. Now we're opening up full steam ahead with the Warriors. So be on the lookout. So always follow lynswarriors.org to stay ahead of where these events are, and always follow Lynn's Warriors on Twitter and Facebook. It was so exciting to be in a room with real people and real reactions and questions being answered. I just love it. That is what we're there to do, educate. The other exciting thing this week is the annual campaign of the Dirty Dozen list was revealed this past Tuesday. Now you might say, what's a Dirty Dozen list? The National Center on Sexual Exploitation in Washington, D.C. has an annual campaign where they choose 12 corporate entities that prioritize profit over people. So this year's list, 12 entities, a couple of them are repeat offenders from last year. I want all of you. It is a take action. It is a Lynn's Warriors take action. I need all of you to do, because I want to remind you, numbers count. When we go after corporations, the more they hear from people, the more they will address the issue. So we cannot do this alone. We need all of you. The work is all done for you. Let me tell you what you have to do. Go to dirtydozenlist.com. You will see the 12 entities such as Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, OnlyFans, and you will Kik messaging app. You will read the little box to get the history so you know what the offense was. Most of these are big tech, Etsy. And I mean, can you imagine? I digress a little bit, but Etsy, known sort of for art supplies and artistic materials. It kind of started out that way, where you can buy child sex dolls. But anyway, go to dirtydozenlist.com. Look at these 12 entities. Read the history, very brief. The whole thing could take you 10 minutes to read and look at the 12 entities. Then hit the box where you can add your name and hit send, and it will go directly to that corporation. You don't have to do any homework. I am begging you, all 12. It helps us tremendously. This year, we're expanding the campaign and to make sure this is a Warriors Take Action. We can't just have a campaign that's released. We make a big media, hoo-ha-ha about, and then we forget about it a week later. I had Lynna Nealon from the National Center on Sexual Exploitation. She spends all year long coming up with this list. And I had her on my radio program this past Wednesday on WVOX, Lynn's Warriors. And I said, Lynna, how do you come up with 12? There are so many offenders sexually exploiting, especially our children. And she said it's very tough, but these are the 12 main ones that she comes up with. But Lynna works all year long on this campaign, and she's the director of corporate initiatives at the National Center. So we want to reward her work with doing what is needed to be done, and that is contacting these corporations, these entities, these companies. Take action. She has done it all for you. dirtydozenlist.com. We had that. And the next thing I want to talk about, I want to remind everybody, I just got off of my weekly Washington Zoomer, as I like to call them, and I'll just leave it at that. And we come together and we have our take actions. So I want to remind everybody, not to get too deep into everything, but Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act was originally created to protect children. Somehow along the way, that messaging got misconstrued and it laid way for big tech, the companies to hide behind it, allowing them freedoms, allowing them no accountability. We are still working very hard on the Earn It Act. It has one more step. Warriors, we need all of you. Please go to lynswarriors.org. Go to Take Action. Go to News and Events. You will see our statement of support. You will see a link to click on. I cannot tell you how important this is, Warriors, because this has been an almost 3-year battle. It passed unanimously. House Judiciary Committee. It is a bipartisan bill. Remember, everything we talk about here belongs to no political party. Nothing belongs to all of us. We all need to step in and step up. Right now, Earn It Act, which will hold big tech accountable, does nothing more than provide safety for children. Don't read anything else. Don't Google it, because let me warn you, you will read nothing but very well-placed, well-financed press that I am going to sit here and tell you are outright lies. The Warriors would never support a bill that would hurt anybody. We only support a bill that is calling for the protection of our children. So the Earn It Act will hold big tech accountable for CSAM, child sexual abuse material. And I know we all want to see this done to protect our kids, our grandkids, family members. It's unbelievable, but we've got to dig in. We cannot become overwhelmed. We've got to take it a step at a time, and you've got to participate. I am devoting my life and the Warriors to this, to make a difference at a community level, and I need your help. So go to lynswarriors.org and do that. I want to make everybody aware that on the radio program next Wednesday, which is WVOX.com, if you're here in New York, 1460 AM, you can always use the WVOX app. Somebody told me, 2 people actually told me recently, it sounds like, and they're very far away, sounds like I'm right next door. So why wouldn't you do it? Our guest this week will be Maria Bartoromo from Fox Business. You know her from Mornings with Maria every morning, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern, and also Sunday Morning Futures, who did an excellent 4-part series, which is now airing on Fox Nation, called Killer Apps. And if you just watched these 4 30-minute episodes, you would learn so much about the digital landscape out there facing our children and facing us as well. And we'd also learn what's really going on the ground and how you can take action. And I suggest, once again, Warriors, you learn how to take action, because in 2022, None of this is getting better. None of this is going away. So we'll learn, we'll adapt, and you'll learn from me. I'll bring you the information. Again, go to linswarriors.org. And with that, I want to remind you also that maybe I should leave it at that. I don't want to overwhelm you. Always keep an eye. I think I'll leave you with this. Keep an eye on parentstv.org, our partner, Parents Television and Media Council out in Hollywood, what's left of Hollywood. Our good friend Tim is in charge, and Tim has an eye on programming being directed at our children, whether it's broadcast, regular TV, whether it's cable. Streaming is the way of the world these days. We have programs such as Euphoria on HBO Max that are offensive, horrible, graphic violence to children. We had the recent John Oliver episode where he was in support of sex work and very tongue-in-cheek and funny and cute, making fun of the whole sex trade. And so we have this normalization of the sexualization of our children. And also, it was just announced this week that Disney Plus will be introducing some very graphic violence, mature content into their programming. So you can see, warriors, how this is seeping even further. It's every day I encounter things. I can't keep up with it. But I'm here to help you and educate you what the important things to look for. That being said, you need to put your pins on your streaming devices. You need to enact them, and don't be scared, because many people say it's difficult. I don't know how to do it. Also, that goes for devices. Many people say, I don't know how to do it. You can Google anything. Let's leverage the internet for good. You will find step by step. How do I do this on an iPhone? How do I do this on a Chrome tablet? Use those resources, use things for good, and do it. And if all else fails, you can always write to me, lynn@linswarriors.org. I will direct you how to actually do these things. So let's talk about your takeaways for the weekly Warrior wrap-up. You're going to keep in mind about Maria Bartoromo joining the Warriors. And I understand, Warriors, maybe you can't join the radio broadcast live next Wednesday at 3, but you certainly can when I tweet it or Facebook it, put it on the website. Take a listen. I want all of you to know about killer apps, because this, my friends, I always say, if you would never open your front door and allow strangers, allow the world in. This is doing just that. So you're going to want to protect your children and always yourselves. So you're going to want to learn about these filters. You have protectyoungeyes.com. You have defendyoungminds.com. You have bark.us. You have a lot of things available. A lot, and a lot for free, most of it for free. Please, also a reminder, sign up for our weekly Warrior newsletter. It goes out usually every Tuesday, and I repeat it a little bit later in the week. To make sure I cover everybody, you have to go to the website, though, scroll down on the right side and sign up. Chock full of information that I don't get to cover on the radio program or online, because I'm busy, because I'm trying to protect, and I'm trying to help survivors, and I'm trying to make a dent again in all this horrible stuff going on. I don't want your child to be the next victim or grandchild. So let's all engage, educate, empower, and intervene with some of these, these few safety tips can make all the difference. And be on the lookout for more Warriors events. We're working on many right now that we'll be announcing very shortly. We'll have something we'll be announcing next week. And if you're in the tri-state area, you need to attend one of these and talk and get going, because it is about protecting your child. So with that, Warriors, I think I've covered all. I don't want to give you too much homework today. About dirtydozenlist.com. That is the biggest takeaway I want all of you to know about, because that is so great. It is done for you by our good friend Lynn Nealon at the National Center on Sexual Exploitation. Hit the send button once you add your name, dirtydozenlist.com. Do it. And I want to leave you with something. A reminder, today and every day, be a warrior.